welcome. Just a quick note, I did mute and did deactivate the video as well because it is kind of a webinar style, just for the sake of time. And if you have questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. Once I start the presentation, unfortunately, I cannot see the questions. However, at the end of the presentation, I will minimize it and then I can see if there are any questions that came into the chat. Okay, it's 10 o'clock. I will get started. And for those who join late, no worries. We record this webinar and we will send you the recording link and also have it in PowerPoint. All right, I will now start these slides. And if I did not say hi to you yet, I apologize because you can see who's coming in. All right, so this is, of course, a webinar about student education and travel, the agenda. And again, this is going to be a quick one. I know we're all busy, but it's just general information about student educationals. What can the students do in Europe? Some fun ideas. And I start with a short welcome, which is this already. Then my name is Tina. I am with Appina Travel. I am actually from Germany originally. Worked in tourism all my life. Took a quick break when I had my 3 boys, and worked for the German International Tourist Office. I worked for tour operators. I worked for travel agencies, and now I am really, really super happy to be with Appina, a DMC for Germany and Central Europe. This webinar today is about students. What can they see, do, and experience, not only in Germany, but in Central Europe, safety and comfort for student groups. We'll talk about this. I will talk about this really briefly as well. Questions, again, if you have questions, please feel free to put them in the chat, or you can also email me after the webinar. And then, like I said a little bit earlier, we will email you the link for those that are registered, and you can also visit our website where we have a accumulation of all the webinars that we are doing. So far, this is only the second one, but there will be more as we go along. Okay, I'm gonna slow down. Really quick about us, Appina Travel. We are a full-service receptive tour operator for groups to Germany and Central Europe, also called DMC. We were founded in 2002, have 25 employees, do about 1,200 groups a year. While it sounds like a lot, you still have a family feel. You get always the same people that you're dealing with. Most of the people have been with us for 15 more years. So you'll know us personally, which is nice. You have a connection, hopefully, to us. And then our staff is multilingual. We speak German, English, French, Italian, and Spanish. Why Appina Travel? Why would you use a receptive? The main part, which I did not mention here, is we save you time, we save you money, we have a lot of negotiating power, and we pass on the savings to you. And of course, the time. You know when you sit in Canada or in the US and you try to organize all this by yourself, dealing directly with hotels, buses, attractions, etc. It's very time consuming, and so we can do that work for you. We offer a 24/7 emergency service, which is also very helpful, specifically when you have student groups on the ground. Something might happen, we are there. This is actually a phone that physically is with one of our employees at nights and on the weekends. We rotate that. And it will always be answered. It's not a chatbot. It's not a answering machine. We'll pick up and we get back to you. We are local, so we have 2 offices. One is in Dresden, one is in Munich, and our team combined has an experience of over 30 years when it comes to creating customized group tours. And the most important part, I feel, is trust, right? It's kind of hard. It's hard for a tour operator, I get it, to trust a local DMC because these are your clients, but we really truly see us as an extension of you. We care about your group, and we're very big on transparency and communication. That starts the moment we have contact with you and translates through all the way until the group departs. We do personally inspect all attractions, hotels, bus companies, restaurants. We are working with what I forgot is we also, of course, when we hire our guides, we personally know the guides. We know their knowledge, and we vote for them. Really quick, the countries that we are offering or that we work in. So mainly you'll see on the map, Germany, of course, the German-speaking countries, Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. However, we go through all the surrounding countries as well. I would say pretty much everywhere you can reach by bus. So you see Poland, Hungary. We go to Benelux, Netherlands, and Belgium, and then also France and Italy. usually in combination with other countries, but also if it's the big cities as a standalone as well. When you have a request and you're not sure, I would recommend you to send it over to us, and then we will let you know if we can do it, if we feel we're competitive. And we go back and forth, we ask you about the budget, all kinds of questions to really make sure that we hear you and that we service you the best that we can, and also satisfy your clients' needs as well. Right. And then today is the topic of student and educational tours. So this theme is about giving students the chance to explore culture, learn through hands-on experiences, and enjoy safe and flexible programs designed just for them. Experience I briefly touch on today and give examples are the cultural experiences. What are some cultural experiences that could do hands-on activities? What does it mean to have a theme of sustainability and innovation? What are the things the student could do? Adventure in sports, as well as giving ideas of being on a budget. We understand that right now the dollar is not the best, Canadian dollar or US dollar, and that budget is more and more important, right? And so specifically with schools and budget cuts and everything that's going on right now. So we definitely work with us. As long as you give us a number, we will give you ideas, and I'll touch upon what they could look like a little bit in the next slide, slide further down. So first, cultural experience, to give you some examples. Of course, as you can see here, it's a classroom, so we can do language classes where they can learn basic words, where they can also learn about the dialects. I don't know if you're aware, but I can speak for Germany since I grew up there. There's different dialects in each region. The northern, they use different words in the southern part. And so it might be really fun for them to learn the differences and even learn a few words. So we do classroom immersions. Another idea would be museum visits. Most museums, or a lot of museums in big cities, offer that free of charge. It could be themed guided tours where they're with an experienced local expert, learning about history, learning about STEM. If it's a STEM theme, it could be cinema and arts, biology, medicinal, whatever it is that the school requests. If you ask us, we can create an offer tailored to that. It could also be visits to family-run manufacturers, jewelries, candles. There's a lot of handcrafts where they could go to the factory, get a tour, and speak to the locals and understand the history and also how it's made. So these are just a few examples on cultural. There's so many more, but we don't have time. I don't have time to list them all. If you need more ideas, you can always reach out to me and I'll send them to you. No problem at all. Or we give you an idea of a sample itinerary and what it could look like. Next, which we feel now comes more and more, or is requested more and more, is hands-on immersion activities. So here you see a picture of a workshop that has to do with, not clay. I think it is a clay workshop. Sometimes the words in English are hard for me to come, but I think it's a clay workshop. But we can also do street art, yodeling, dancing. I mean, there's so many, a lot of chocolate factories offer tours. You can make your own chocolate. First, you see the tour. You might talk to an employee. You learn about the history. You taste the chocolate, and then you can make your own and you take it home. And that goes for chocolate, for candles, for cookies, for porcelain. There's so many things. So there's a lot of hands-on activities that we can immerse the students in. Another thing that's pretty big is treasure hunts and scavenger hunts. Usually they're offered or they're being done in the bigger cities. It's that it's a group activity where they have to answer questions, and each question gives a clue, and then they go from station to station where they learn not only about the history, but they also learn about teamwork, and it's just fun. There's one, it's called Spy and Escape. It's at the Berlin Wall, where they pretend that the Stasi is trying to prevent them from escaping. I'm sorry, earphones are falling off. Sorry. Escaping from East Berlin, trying to get to West Berlin. So it's actually really real. It was real, before the 80s, but obviously that is something that is very interesting because the clues along the way, they learn about the history and then they kind of get to act it out a little bit. So also a really cool activity that we include in student and educational tours if that matches the theme that they're on. And sometimes it's just fun to do something not theme related, but just, to have some different experience while you're on the tour. So that would be the hands-on activities. Again, just a few examples. Next, we'll go into sustainable innovation. So the picture that you see is a picture of a wind park in Germany. We have numerous wind parks across the country, generating a significant portion of our electricity from clean wind energy. So students can visit them, they can learn about that. A next example would be Freiburg, for example, is a city in the Black Forest region. It's called the greenest city in Germany, and it's actually a model for sustainability for cities in Europe. They have many buildings that use solar. They have a lot of parks, urban gardens, and trees throughout the cities. The city is made for pedestrians and to kind of shove the cars out. There's a lot of pedestrian walks. There is trams. There is bike lanes. It's very pedestrian friendly. And the citizens actually actively participate in environmental projects. So that's a cool city to visit to learn about sustainability. Again, the wind parks as well. We have a lot of hydroelectric power stations. Munich, for example, alone has 10. And they blend renewable energy with environmental sustainability. So we have about 10, like I said, around Munich alone. And we can organize a visit to these factories with a guide where the students can learn more about it and ask questions. So another idea, and again, there is a lot more. There's, Audi, was it Audi? VW has a whole factory where you can visit the old part of how cars are made, etc. But then also now the electric vehicles and learn about that. So endless possibilities. Again, if you have a school specifically requesting that theme, just let us know and say this is the time they have, this is the budget they have, this is their theme, that's what they want. Build us something, and we'll do that for you. Next is adventures in sports. So we have students that like to go and do friendly matches. It could be a friendly soccer match, any type of sport, honestly, but also we can offer inline skating, rope climbing, city tours by bike, laser tag, trampoline parks. Evening events it's not so much sports, but it could be an adventure as karaoke, for example, is a big one. So definitely fun activities that we can come up for you, that we can create to give them a feel of being immersed in a culture and kind of feeling what is it like to live in that country. Next, ideas for trips on a budget. So I put a few together, but again, we will make more detailed recommendations if you have a group that says, hey, we only have a small budget. So often it helps to shorten the overnights, right? If they plan 11, maybe 8, that already makes a huge difference when it comes to a guide, bus, etc. That saves the most money. But also thinking maybe we combine 2 cities with each other where we can use a train to get from city A to city B. Maybe we can use public transportation in the city. We can take advantage of all the free offers that cities give to students, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, the museums, for example. We can look into local meals, local markets. We have local farmers markets where it's cheaper to buy. This is a picture of a typical German currywurst, which is basically a thicker, how do I explain this? I would say a thicker hot dog with ketchup and a lot of curry on it. It has a little spice to it. It's delicious. I love it. I used to eat it a lot as a kid. And so there's definitely ways that we can work with you when it comes to groups that are on a tight budget, also hostels. And I will say a little bit about that in the next slide, because hostels sometimes we think that, oh, are there a lot of transient travelers? Is it safe? Is there a lot of backpack tourists? And with our hostels that we personally inspect, this is not the case. They're definitely safe. So just some ideas for that. And then coming to, speaking a little bit about safety and what we vouch for in a way, the accommodations, like I said earlier, we personal inspect it. We do handpick the hostels. We do visit them. We look at the floors. We look at the breakfast room. We look at the bathrooms, all of it. And so for the students, usually it's 2 to 4 per room, twin beds, which are beds that can be separated, and bathroom is in the room. So there is no floor bathrooms. We do not work with hostels like that. Always in the room. The teachers usually can get a single or request a twin. It's up to the teacher's preference, and they're always on the same floor with the group. We also group the students together. So it's not that one is floor 8, the other one is floor 2. They're all together. And if it's requested, we can organize security. We have done it before, so definitely also something we can do. We can also request only having the girls together, only having the boys together, and then, so really to make it easier for the teachers also to keep track. If you ever been on a student tour by yourself, you know how crazy 14, 15, 16-year-olds can get sometimes. So all these things are important. And, again, we communicate with you, you communicate with us your needs, and then we work it out until you feel it's right. We only put experienced tour guides, tour escorts on our student tours. And when it comes to walking groups, the max we usually have is 25. Anything more than that, we split them in 2 and we have tour guides with it. Meals, when it comes to meals, it's completely flexible. You let us know. Again, it also has to do a little bit with the budget. Breakfast, of course, is always included. Most hotels, even hostels, have a variety of breakfast items. So definitely a good meal in the morning. And then we can do buffet. We can do 2 or 3-star courses. We can do sandwiches, lunch boxes, anything that, again, mostly fits the budget, but also it depends on where the students are, right? If they're in a big city, they like to explore them. They like to have a meal on their own. They have maybe want to buy themselves a local currywurst or something like that. And that's definitely something that, of course, there is space created for. Tap water, soft drinks are always included. And then we give free time for shopping and explorations. We do understand that sometimes specifically for the younger age group, even 15, 16-year-olds, honestly, I have a 16-year-old, I have an 18-year-old, and their attention span can only take so much. So finding the right balance between getting education, also having hands-on immersion, but then also just turning your brain off and experiencing living is important. And again, that is in communication with you as a tour operator, letting us know what you feel, what we would recommend, but then of course with you and also the teachers and the school's agreement, because I do know that schools also have their own agenda that needs to be fulfilled. So that's a balance here, but we definitely work with you on that. We do offer 1 free off-charge spot for you to shadow. And of course, public transport, if the group size allows, is not a problem with us. And I mentioned that a little bit earlier when it comes to the groups that are on a budget. That's definitely something to consider. In Europe, it depends, sometimes if you have a group of 15 or so, it's not hard to ride a tram, ride an underground, ride a metro. When it comes to public buses, might be a little bit more challenging because a lot of local people use public buses in Europe. So then that might only be possible for smaller groups. But again, this is all stuff is communicated way ahead of time. So you know what to communicate to your client. Lots of talking. I'm almost done, and I will then stop and see if you have any questions. I think this is the last slide, but let me make sure. Yeah, that was already it. Hopefully you got a little bit of information out of it. I know it's not too long. This is the purpose of that. I know we're all busy. This is really just to kind of plant the seed, to give you some ideas of what can be done. We really appreciate your time. If you make the time to jump on this webinar, I really appreciate it. And if you have any questions, you can email me. My email is on the slide. You can also text me, call me, WhatsApp me. And I will now see if there is any questions. If not, again, I thank you for your participation. Don't hesitate to ask. Don't hesitate to just send a request over. We will let you know if we can do it. We will give you suggestions. We will let you know the dates. Are they good? Are they bad? Are there conventions? All these details that sometimes are really hard for you to know when you are overseas. That's why we are here. I'm located in Las Vegas. I'm kind of like the middle person. Because of the time difference in Germany, you always get an answer from me. And I thank you for your time. The webinar will be on our website as well. If you feel you maybe joined later and you might have missed something, we will email the link to a recording. And you can also go to our website and find the recording there probably in 2 or 3 days. Thank you so much. And I hope I hear from you. Bye. Oh, I'm not saying bye yet. I'm gonna have to see if there's any questions. So I'll just turn this. Ooh, I do not see. Oh, there's 2 questions in the chat. So I'm just. Oh, okay. Thank you, Nicole. Oh, hi, Antoinette. Oh, thank you so much. No worries. I'm so happy that you jumped on, and I know that you both jumped on, and I know it's busy, and so no worries at all. We email the link to the recording. If you have questions, just reach out to me. I'm here for you. Thank you, and I see you guys or hear from you hopefully soon. Bye.